you start, and then I'll come second.
Okay, then I'll get the first bullet, no problem.
Okay, welcome to our weekly civic education talk show. Today is February 13, 2022. Our topic of discussion today will be living within your limit or your income, and also we're gonna discuss. We're gonna have some discussion on sanitation as well, to keep our environment clean. Yeah, so I'm gonna let our panelists jump into it. We have Alas from Germany and Sam Cisse, Indiana, USA. I'm your host, Moody Sane, in New York. Welcome, guys. Alas, so what do you think about the us living within our limits, the issues, and what are the contributing factors? You can go ahead, Alas.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sawane, and thank you, and hello to the to the audience. Yeah, I mean, this is something very serious. It's a very serious topic, what we always try to neglect or ignore. But if you look at it, we Gambians are making ourselves unhappy and making life very hard, if you look at it, and difficult. Just, I see it, as I just said, it's all, how to call it, it's not natural anyway. It's artificial, we used to call it, we are the people who try to implement those things all, because, our time, when we were small, there was nothing like this rat race, this competition, this big competition, Sawane, get this, I have to get it by force in any way, even if my salary don't give it to me. So I have to be like Sawane, and without believing that sometimes people can be lucky, some can be lucky today, and tomorrow not, it's all in God's hand. You can say, if you are a believer, which we call ourselves as believers, in Gambia. But on the other hand, if you see how we take things, you think that we just say it, but we are not practicing it or try to understand what we are even saying, that we are religious, Yeah, I mean, you can see the development from the time we were there up to now, And I used to say, when you laugh at people, you are always afraid to be laughed. So, and if you try to put people down, you're always expecting or having in mind that people are trying to put you down. It's a psychological thing, which we are suffering. You understand? If I go to a program, these girls, when I see it now, they even understand the psychology of the Gambians. You know what they do? The griots, they come with a bag. I mean, a rice bag. You know why? Because they understand us. We are going to compete, and they are going to profit from the competition. You understand? I don't know whether you have seen that. Maybe sometimes these videos, when there is Ngente or Taka, these people, they bring rice bags and then they fill it up because they think that we are stupid. So maybe they are right, because we are competing and they are profiting. And this Gambians need to know that. We cannot live that way. I thought that even the people in the West from Gambia, when they come here, maybe they are going to try to change that, because that is not tradition. Nobody can tell me that is Gambian tradition. I know what I left in Gambia. These are all things we implement within the time. We try to put it there through our psychology, or the psychology of the griots, because they try to play that game and we try to play with. Even if John Seka come, they also bring bags, because they know if Sawane come and give 20, Alas will come and give 40. Some will come and give 100, and that's the way it goes. Till the concert is.
And the next day you're gonna cry for Ndawal.
That is it. That's we Gambia and the mentality. We are ready to do things even if we suffer tomorrow. We are ready to be known even if we suffer tomorrow. We are ready to do something that people say is good or try to sign even if we suffer tomorrow. You understand? We don't even care. Important is I do something where some will say, alas, is somebody okay? You understand? Or alas is a good man, or praise me. That's the mentality, and that is wrong. I know that many Gambians will not be happy with what I'm saying, but it's the fact. And we cannot live that way. I mean, I used to say, it's no problem if I told that Gambia was a rich country. You understand? There maybe less problems, but we don't have it and pretend to be having it. That's why our life is very difficult. You understand? It's very difficult. And what I used to say sometimes, we don't try to see also who should be signing. You understand? We take the wrong people, accepting their nonsense, and seeing them as God, and don't know that these people are even criminals. Because Gambians cannot differentiate who is the true person and who is the thief, who is the criminal. Because they are all being blended always from what the person is putting on, what kind of car he's driving, things of that sort. Because that's what we look at as status. You understand? Even if a criminal is stealing the whole Gambian money, if he comes out with a suit, with a nice car, they'll say, Sawane is a good man. Uda alaya sole. All these nonsense, how can God give that person? He give himself. No, because his salary is not enough. So why should that person to be put on a pedestal in front of Gambians? Because Gambians don't try to understand this psychology inside. You understand? So the other thing is, when somebody is lucky, it can be take that money, whether it's legal or not legal, and buy a villa. People don't know how that person comes to money. The next person is going to say, okay, he did that, he built a bridge, I want to also build a bridge, without knowing where this person is having that money. This is also a problem of gambling. Just look, before you go to, you remember those days, if you go to Ngentes and so, what do? They just take some cola nuts and give that person. Some will come with just 2 meters, of a nice cloth and then give it to you. Some will even just make milk rice and then bring it to you. And people enjoy themselves, and that was it. But today, they are competing with who gives the griots more money and who is driving the best car. And we all know our condition is in Gambia. The money is not there. So it's just all fake. And people are making others also suffer. Because the fake people are trying to show the others this is life, and they themselves, they don't have it. So the people who don't have are also trying to struggle to come to their level without knowing that these people are on the fake cloud. You understand? So we have these problems, whether we are going to see the whole thing and try to say, okay, let us turn back and try to be real, or we try to make this bubble bigger and bigger and bigger. Because one day we'll just hear pop, then you'll see that there was nothing inside. We cannot be just pumping and know that there is no money, and then people go and take debts and so just to go to Yusundur and things like that, trying to pay that some months. Why? If you don't have it, don't go there. The Senegalese people don't do that. You know why they are running always to Gambia? Because they know our psychology. If you don't go to Yusundur, you are not, you are not worthy. If you don't go to, how to call it, the other person there, Wali Seka, then you are not in. You don't know what is actual, you are not worthy. So people who are avoiding that, they'll try by all means, even if they should steal and go. You have ladies, even if they go to the next butcher and sleep with them to get that money, they'll do that to go. Why? Because they are feeling being forced to be part of the society. If they don't go to Yusundur, they are not part of the society. But where is that written?
Even if it is gonna cost them.
I know,
fortune.
That's what I'm telling you. I tell you, even the risk, and even to stand on the street and go and sleep with men, or men go and steal money to go to that place. But why? Where is it written that every Gambian should go there? Where is it written that if you cannot afford it to go there, you are a low person, you are nonsense, or you are nothing? Where is it written? Nowhere. But when we laugh at people who cannot, that's why I started with that, then we are always afraid that we be in the position where we cannot, because we think that people will also judge us as how we judge those people. You understand what I mean? If I laugh at you today because you broke your leg, tomorrow when I break my leg, I am also afraid that you laugh at me. And this is just psychology. It's just a psychological problem. You can say what we are being played within our society. But I advise people just to accept that we don't have and try to do what we have and what we can afford and go to bed. I know if I say something today, even some will say, you are in Europe, that's why you are saying this. And no, even the Europeans, they live like that, especially the place where I am. I know them. I've been here almost my life. They are not fake. They are, I don't know, they are very lucky that they don't have that in their society. And they are real. Even if you have COVID, they'll tell you, I'm having COVID.
They will not hide.
Yeah, that's it. But a Gambian to tell you I'm having COVID, that means suicide. Yeah, why? It's our mentality.
So that means we don't speak the truth, right?
That's why nobody is wearing mask and everything, and the whole world is suffering. Just because we don't want to wear that, and people will look at you and laugh at you. So the next person who should wear will also not wear, because he's thinking when he wears a mask, the others will laugh, because it's a mentality thing. That's why I started with, we make ourselves suffer with our way of thinking. The problem is not there when you just think of it. There is no problem there. It's just that we are making the world or life difficult just because of our own mentality, what we artificially constructed. So it was never before there, and people were happy. Even if you go to the villages, upper river, and so people were always dancing, and laughing. They sing in the furrows and all, but these are all gone. This fun is no more there, because they are also trying to think of, I have to get this, and the country is getting difficult, So they move over to urban area where this competition is higher, and the things are costly. We have a big inflation in the Gambia, so we should not even talk about that. But you see that people are complaining if it's costing $1,000, this is costing $500. So you think, okay, then who are the people who were by Wali Seka paying 5,000 there? Because if I should do that, Mr. Sawane, for a night, I will have enough that I don't complain of inflation. then that I don't complain of a bread being very costly. Just be real. If you can afford a knife 5,000 as a Gambian, there must be enough money there. Then we should not complain that the country is difficult. I cannot afford it. I would say even it's too costly for me. Senegalese people, they understand these
So
people.
Alas, what is the government take on this? What is their responsibility on this?
Yeah, we are talking here general. Even the government, they are also Gambians. They're Gambians.
No. I'm saying, when they seen all these things?
Yeah, what can they do? Because they themselves, they are in the game, as Sam used to say it. So we are here acting like maybe referees to say, okay, I think the game is nonsense. What we are doing is better. We try to change our focus, our mentality, because nobody is doing that. But all Gambians are suffering from that. Even the Gambians in the diaspora, because this mentality is there. The last time I saw Ngente in Sweden, I was ashamed because I saw what was going on. Exactly the same what was going in the Gambia. The griots come with a bag and everybody is competing with money. So, what is that for a status? To show that we are rich, we are poor. We should not.
But some people need validation. They want need something to validate them. They're not self-confident. They think like, if I come and say my name, maybe.
That is the problem.
So
and we are making others suffer.
That is also self.
Yeah, that is.
Don't you think that's also self-fulfilling? It fulfills somebody's, like let's say Sam is Sam, probably wanna feel known, and he went and gave $1,000 to Jaliba so that he can say Sam Cisse of Indiana.
Yeah, I know.
And make a big deal out of
Sam
that.
will even go and give another 2,000. Even if he's going to be hungry tomorrow, just to have that status. We know that. And that is fake. That's what I'm saying here. We are making everything difficult for us. We are making life difficult for us. We all know that everything is fake because Gambia is a poor country. Even if you are here in the diaspora and you have money, think of your family. When they don't have money, you are still a poor guy because you cannot sign when they are suffering there. That is nonsense. Many people are doing that, to show up, but their families or relatives are suffering. And that is also fake. We want to be real here, from the president down to the caretaker. We have to stop this fake nonsense. It's just going to give Gambians more problems. When we say people go and steal, why? Because if I have something to eat, then maybe I don't have it necessary to go and steal and risk my life. Then I should be enough with that. But we don't only want to eat, we want to sign also. I mean, if you do something to eat, I support it. But if you do something just to sign, or people say Sawane is the best or something, those nonsense, that is what we have to take out of our heads if we want to have a good life. These people, they do it, and they are having money. But when they don't have money, they tell you. When they are sick, they tell you. And we cannot do that as Gambians because we never want to say something which is going to put us down, even if it is the reality. Then we tell the other part, instead of the real thing. So these are problems. I don't know what the government can do with that because the government themselves, I'm starting from head to toe.
They are encouraging it.
They are also Gambians encouraging that also politically maybe, but we have to change the mentality. I think
thank you, Alas.
We can let Sam come.
Yeah, thank you for that insight.
Yeah,
Sam, where do you want to pick it from here?
Thank you for getting into all the details and really speaking the truth about this, speaking the facts, that is all behind us. So it is common in Gambia that people don't live within their income because they have other means of getting money illegally. I'll put it that way, illegally. that influences them to spend the money anyhow they want, because it's not their sweat. It's money that they did not earn. They stole it in some cases. Not everybody, but I'll put it that way. But for the majority, or for the most part, you will see people spending money like crazy, and that creates peer pressure for the others to do the same thing. And if they don't, if they can't, then
Sam, you mean that if you're getting it free or you're still able to steal it, you can spend it anyhow, and you wouldn't have to worry about.
If you have free money,
That's right.
I mean,
That's
it's
why we
free.
have
You didn't
corruption.
work for it. It's free money. You stole it, and you find deals to do something. Guess what? That money can be spent anyhow. They spend it anyhow they want. They can give it away just to get a name. They can give it away just to be famed, because they know there's another way to steal again. They'll go back and steal it the same way. So
even knowing that you are stealing from the public money.
Exactly. They're stealing it from the public funds. So really the solution to this is the government needs to lead by example and close all the loopholes so nobody can steal anything. If they can't steal anything, they will live within what they have. They will stop spending too much because they don't have it. Once they do that and people see government officials and all public and civil service officials living within their income, not spending money crazily, not living that kind of life anymore, then the majority of the people now will understand where they are. Because the people that used to spend all this money that creates the peer pressure for the others are no longer doing it, then everybody will back off. It needs to start there. Otherwise, that's what happens. So government really needs to close the loopholes on that, from the president going down and stop, close all the loopholes. And this is part of corruption. I know we've talked about corruption. Corruption is something is never ending, and we can never
This
finish.
is a cost. This is a big cost. What we're talking is a big cost.
Yeah, exactly. Is the big cost for it, because that's why people are spending money that they don't earn. Because if you ask me, I don't have anywhere to steal money. You don't have anywhere to steal money. Alice doesn't have anywhere to steal money. We work hard,
because if you steal money here, you go to jail.
You go to jail. Yeah, there's
that's
no
it.
doubt about
But in Gambia, you don't go to jail, maybe.
And not only that, you don't have the opportunity. The opportunity is not there. Where you're going to steal? I mean, who will give you all the keys and all the everything that you need to get the money? They've closed the loopholes and made it very difficult for one individual to be able to take money, because money does not go through your hands. You see what I mean?
Right.
They took away cash from everybody's hands, and everything is electronic. Not only that, they are checks and balances in reconciliation. Doing all of that closes all the loopholes. Nobody has any opportunity. So the money you and I, all of you and I spend, is true money that we earn. We work for it. We earn it. We're definitely not going to give that away, because we know that we have a family to support. We know that we have bills to pay. We know we have things incidentals that we need to care for our family. So we're not going to go out and give $1,000 to. If I have an extra $1,000 US dollars in my hand now, you know what? I'm going to put it on my property. I'm not going to give it to Jaliba Kwad or anybody else.
Not on Jaliba. You're not going to give it to Jaliba or Wadi Seka or someone else.
No, you have to leave Jaliba Kwade, because he's also making his life. And maybe people just need to change, especially when they come from Senegal, because Gambia, you can say we can support the artists.
Right. So that's where I am. People are giving money away to be famous, to be famous about it, so that their names can be called. And that is not our mentality. I don't need anybody to call my name. I want to spend my money wisely. I want to be happy with my family and have what I need for my family. I don't want to give that away to people. Yes, when I have extras, the way we all do here, we have extras. Yes, we will help. I help people. I will continue to help people, but I'm not going to give away a bunch of money for somebody to call my name. That's not me. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen like that. So that's one. The government need to really cut the loophole, close the loopholes there, so that it stops this peer pressure on people. Then going back down to the society, at that point, you will realize that, that person that lives in that nice story building or that nice self-contained there is no longer doing anything out of the ordinary. He's living a simple life like everybody else, living a simple life like everybody else. His family are no better than anybody else's family. So there's not going to create that competition. Otherwise, what we're seeing now is this person works for the government and they have a means of stealing money, and they're getting that money and spending that free money. They're doing all kinds of things in their property, costing in their, I'll say company, no, compound. In Gambia, they say compound, and here I'll say property, in my property, So, so they see that person spending, doing all kinds of things and decorations and tiling their whole house, the whole building get tiled. In America, where do you see? You don't see anybody tile their whole building just like that. They do things wisely. They work smarter, not harder. So that's where we need to go. And also that person that is stealing, his children are wearing nice shoes to go to school, causing the neighbors' children to start to tell their parents that I want that shoe too. I want the same thing. They're creating that peer pressure on them. And those children's dad or parents cannot afford that. They cry and they do all things to their parents and create that stress for their parents, without realizing that this person's children are wearing it because this person is stealing from the government, is stealing public funds. That's why they're doing that. They're making deals. And unfortunately, your dad is a straightforward person, is someone that fears God, and is someone that does not have any opportunity to steal any money. Whatever he works, when he earns it, he brings it home to feed the family. That's what he has. That's what he has. He doesn't have any extra money to go buy those nice pair of shoes for you, or nice pair of jeans for you, or to build a basketball court in your property, in your compound. They can't do that. They can't do that. So the reality will settle when the government closes the loopholes and all these people that are stealing. That's what's going to happen. It's going to. I mean, who in the Gambia makes a lot of money to be able to build a mansion, to be able to build a very nice self-contained, to be able to build
the president, I think he's done it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. So where I'm getting to,
I don't know where he made the money.
They don't make that kind of money to be able to spend that kind of money on a property, on a house, or on a building. So where's the money coming from? That's what we know, that is not a true money. It's not true money. It's money they're getting through something else. And that something else is what the government need to close so that we don't run into that problem. And also to be able to solve this problem, the government need to close those loopholes on those people. And the president need to lead by example first, and then it comes down. Don't spend what you don't have. Everybody need to understand that. Don't spend what you don't have. And those who are within the want to live within their income.
But Sam, they can argue that you don't make the money for them. So who are you to tell them not to spend? Not
right. You don't tell them. You don't make the money. But you know what happened? Yes, it is true that we don't make the money for them, so we can't tell them. No, we're not going to tell them that. The government is the one that's just gonna. They don't even need to talk. In my mind, I can go in there. I know what I need to do from a loss prevention standpoint. I'm going to look at every loophole and close it. I don't even need to tell you anything. I'm going to put every loophole that I know is out there. I'm going to close it. I'm going to create cameras and put security cameras everywhere to monitor everybody's dealing and things like that. That will cut them out of getting that money. And the government.
But Sam, if you are a president, I think it's better when you close your own loopholes before you.
That's why I said start with it. I said starting with the president, right? That's what I started. That's how I said it. I said starting. It needs to start.
Well, not at the time of a campaign when you need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
Right. No, it needs to start with the president. The president needs to cut his own budget. Need to live within what the government can afford, and the president need to lead by example. Really need to lead by example. And close all the loopholes for everybody. Close all the loopholes for everybody so they live within their income, their salary. And that's
But
what
when
they
you
have.
do that, in the Gambia as a president, you have to be careful, because if you do that, maybe people will not vote for you because you close the loopholes. They are way off in stealing. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be careful fighting corruption in the Gambia.
Yeah, so here's how it starts. The way it starts is a president goes into power first time, your first term, your very first year, you start leading by example. Day one on the job, you start leading by example. That day one, knowing that you already have 5 years to go. Okay. If I go to Gambia and I become president, for example, I already have what I have. I don't need to steal money anywhere else. Okay. So what I'm going to do, day one, I'm going to lead by example by holding myself accountable first, so I can hold everybody accountable, close all the loopholes, generate all the income that the government gets, take all that money and reinvest it into the country, run the country, show the people here's a better way to run the country. Look at Rwanda. Look at countries that are developed. Look at what they do. So in my first 5 years, you start developing the country, and people wonder, where is all this from? Yes, it's all the money that people used to steal. I closed the loopholes and we earned them. We kept the money and spent it in our country. Guess what? The next 5 years,
Right.
people that used to steal and you close the loopholes will not vote for you. But think about it, they are not the majority. How many people work in the government? They're not the majority. The majority are the poor people. The poor people are going to vote for you because you've made changes in their lives. You've made changes. You've stabilized the country, and you made great changes in their lives. They're going to vote for you. Even if they don't vote for you, guess what? At the end of your first term, that's enough. You've done your part. You've set the record straight. You've closed the loopholes, hoping that I will get out and let the next person come in and continue from there, and don't destroy a country. You see, if the next person comes in to destroy a country, then you help campaigns to get that person out. But at least you set the example. So the key is do the right thing by setting the example. And that's what we need to do in Gambia to be able to stop this. But to end my conversation here for now is for everyone at home, every individual that works, look at what you earn, make a budget. If you're in the month, you get $7,000. Is that all you have? Or you have $5,000? You're starting a family. Don't go rent a house that's $5,000 house. Go to a place that costs you maybe $2,000, so you will have $3,000 in your hand for something else,
to eat,
for transportation,
for
back and forth to work, feeding your family and your children. If you live within that, every year you get a salary increase. Maybe opportunities will come. You'll get a promotion if you work hard for it, and you'll get more money. At some point, if you need be, go to a bank and get a loan and start a business. If you want to do that, if that's what you want to do, you can grow your family that way without relying on any deal from anyone else. And if we all do that, if everybody start to do that, they will not cause a problem for themselves. Otherwise, they're creating a problem for themselves by spending money that they don't have. If you go borrow money from somebody to spend it, you don't have that money. Well, when your salary comes, you're going to remember you have to take that money out of it and give it back to that person.
Or if you go do illegal things to get money.
Yep. You're going to have to pay that, and you're not going to have enough.
On the other hand,
people to do things that are illegal, and that's what's our problem, and creates that peer pressure. It creates that stress for you, hypertension. It creates all kinds of things for people. So if people can just relax and live within what you have, you will be happy with your family at home, knowing that you don't owe anybody anything. You're not stealing anything from anywhere. Nobody should come after you.
Yeah, I think what you guys have spoken here is mainly a mindset issue. If you work within the white community, you tend to see this picture, the bigger picture of this. The only time a white person goes to a restaurant and eat when he has enough savings and budget for that. The only time a white man would buy expensive clothes just for the name brand Calvin Klein or Tommy Hilfiger or all this expensive brand that we the black folks actually chase after is when they have enough. It's a mentality that came well back in history. Julius, way before slavery, we, the Black folks, including Gambians again, we are motivated by peer pressure. We are motivated by things that are instantaneous gratification. That gives you a satisfaction right now, but not in the future. We are future blind. I call us future blind. We look at what the instance here. That's the reason why we are still poor. If our ancestors were not future blind, if our ancestors knew they are surrounded, the minerals in Africa and Gambia in particular, they would have built it for us before we even came. We just have to take it up from there.
Right.
But the reason why the white folks succeeded, because their ancestors went around the world, find out what they have, they're surrounded, and find out what others have. And then they came to us Africans, and they know what they have. They came to us and said, gee, we don't have, our place is so cold. We need heaters, we need charcoals, we need to take from them by force. And what did they do? They went to our land and started talking to teach us all this kind of nonsense. First, they started grabbing our tough people like Kunta Kinte, strong men, through slavery, through our own people, by our chiefs, by our people who are in power. They use them and give them money and
they
other
gave them
minerals,
salt,
and
not
give
even,
them,
not even, they gave them salt, not even money.
And
and they were very happy to give
salt,
a lot of
salt
families
and
just
other,
salt,
and
which they can,
and other.
which they can
Exactly.
take it
I
from
was
the
even
river.
surprised a mirror. I mean, like a mirror was given to Africans to look at themselves, and then they say, "Oh my goodness, I can see myself. This is a big deal." They are
But imagine,
trading our
Mr.
own
Sawane,
people through
salt,
slavery.
salt,
Salt and a mirror. I mean, like,
because they didn't know that they can make it themselves. So
that's what I'm
it's the
saying.
wisdom.
So
they just try to manipulate things.
that's what
But what
I'm
they were
saying. This is the
selling
mind.
to our chiefs, we are having it there. And the same thing is that now.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say, Alas, here is that the mentality was way back. The mentality of just instant gratification. Let's have it now and forget about the future or the past. So everybody is just living that life. Whatever we can grab now, whatever we can do, and how much luxury we can do. Nobody worked, nobody planned the past. So because of that, we are in this poverty. And the mindset grew within ourselves as well. Remember when the white people came to Africa and said learning is better than silver and gold? Oh, learning is better than silver and gold. If you're in primary school,
maybe something flow inside it, but they use it that time for us to think of the missionaries,
missionary
to believe
learnings, religious learnings, and Christianity, Christianity learning, and all
that
this
was all
learning.
brainwashing
Exactly.
anyway somehow. But
we are recipients of brainwashing. We grab brainwashing like this, like it belongs to us. So this has grown within us.
But you see,
and to the point today, check this out. To the point today that we are also is carrying out wherever we go, even in the West. Instant gratification. Somebody buy a sneaker, Michael Jordan sneaker today. Alice buy it. Sam would say, "I have to get this." Even your parents don't have it. Put the pressure on your parents, and what your parents has to do, they have to work double shift because they want to satisfy their child.
That's what I wanted to say.
So
where Sam said that
the problem that we are having in this our society, and even with musicians like Yusundu, all that. Imagine it will take someone to call somebody in abroad, to even date someone who has money, to even steal from your parents, to go to the Wadi Seka and to the Yusundu and to the old artists that, just because peer pressure and want to be seen. I don't know if you understand, but your happiness, it depends on you. not on any artificial thing or someone. But happiness
That's what
is
the white man believe.
it's the way you look yourself inside, from inside and out, and what satisfies you, what you consider valuable. If you consider something
Right.
useless valuable, how are you gonna be happy? If you don't maintain, if you don't achieve that something useless, you're not gonna be happy. But if you put your content, something happiness around something like serving people, volunteering for people, doing community organization, guess what? There's a lot of them there without any cost. You will be happy every day. So we put our happiness around material worlds, peer pressure. Hey, see me, my name. If Gelbard doesn't call my name, I'm nobody. If Yusundu don't call my name, I'm nobody. So I rather take that 1,000 and give it to those people than to spend it on my kids' education. Save the 529 college fund for my kids. Do some investment. But rather than that, instant gratification, that's what caused us all this problem. And it was inherited. It wasn't just, it doesn't come spontaneously. Because look at that. Even if you go in the West, look at us, chasing each other like crazy. Somebody, do this, we go and do that. Somebody bought a house, somebody has a hammer, we gotta buy a hammer. Somebody has a Mercedes, we go and buy a Mercedes. It breed competition, it breed, it's, not prioritizing, it breeds a whole host of issues.
And and take out dishonesty.
I think once, let me finish. I think at this point, the government, they are toothless bulldog. Do you know toothless bulldogs? They cannot even manage their own affairs than to manage an affairs of individuals. When the government is around, cannot bite anybody. Nobody gets scared. Because guess what? They ain't able to even get their acts together. So they cannot control this. People can get, who are you, government? They tell me what to do. I make my own money. Do you help me make my money? So get out of here. You're not gonna, I'm not gonna listen to you. So our government is roaming around. They cannot even get their act together. And now they cannot even help this situation. So we're gonna have all flux of these musicians in the Gambia coming, and after you spend all this money, next time you asking for bread. Can I have a loaf of bread? Can I have $10? Can I have $20 to buy, nyambi at nyebe? This is the problem. And when it comes to Ngentes, you have a child or you have a wedding. If you cannot do the wedding, it's not within your means. Why do it? Just because Sam did it. Allah did it.
Yeah,
why do it? Islam said, you just basically call people, it's not forced upon you. You don't have to buy it. Why are people spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands? Because I want Sanse. They go to Dubai and Sanse and get all this money, all this loan just to make that wedding or make that.
Yeah. The question is why? Because if you don't do it, some will say, look at Mr. Sawane. A big man like him, he cannot even afford to make a big ceremony. So that's the problem people have. That's why I started here saying we trouble ourselves. Because if we can talk bad about people who cannot afford it, then we are always afraid not to be in a situation where we cannot afford it, because then we'll try to think people will talk bad about us. So we are artificially punishing ourselves with our own mentality. You are right, Sawane. Exactly. It's a mindset.
Mindset.
I'm very happy when people go somewhere to entertain themselves, because they don't have more entertainment in Gambia or Africa, I would say. So the Africans are always happy when there is a group dancing and singing. But as you said, Mr. Sawane, if you say that when I have such a thing, I'm happy, then you're happy. The happiness is just a mindset. If I drink water, I'll be happy. When I drink water, I'm happy.
Somebody, Yama say is saying that whenever he's our program, everybody is saying that we are saying it in English. So he said that we should say it in local language. Yeah.
We can. I can try my Wolof. I mean, I can go to Wolof now.
Because, I think we should try that to actually help our audience.
Yeah, maybe then they can know more. I mean, liñ doon wax mooy just pour nit ñi di dundee liñ am, not more than luñ amut. Like so Youssou Ndour ñëwee ñëpp daw fa the next day ñuy laajte ndax fan la ñoo amee reer on day wo which is nonsense. So ñun problème bi ñu am mooy competition. Diw am na lii dama ko war a am, diw am na léeg dama ko war a am. Sam wax na something very important here. I just wanted to come to it. Loolu dafa tax ba nga xam ne yenn xale yi ci school bi sax dañoo am morom seen morom bi papa bi di def lu dul noonu mun leen a jëndal yëpp waaye ñoom seen papa amul loolu su ko defee ñoom they don't feel happy because dañoo fanaan ne sax xam naa seen papa moom dof la oo mënul dara ñële la seen papa mun dara because especially at that age xale yi seen xalaat duy aaga foofu ne kii mun naa nekk di saaja kële mun suma papa nekkul di saaja they cannot differentiate that ñoom li ñoo gis mooy sax they will not be happy because ñu ngi gis papi jàmbur mën na leele waaye moom papa mënu ko without knowing the background te ñun we all know the background everybody is having the same salary but you see difference in Gambia so that means that is telling you right that there is something going wrong so nit ñi du ñooy gis loolu ne kii xëy na li moo def is not done kele gëm na yàlla ragal na yàlla bokku ci fi saaja moo tax mu ngi live a normal life kele moom mu nga nekk di taka jabar yeeg Youssou Ndour ak yëpp because mu ngi am comme ni ko sawaane waaye chance bi pour génne xaalis without sweating du ko ñaxa because mu ngi toog ci kees di lekkal ko ne te kenn contrôle moom liggéeyut moom dafa jël ñu jël kat lañ so seen aduna de daaxana so ñun liñ doon wax daal to summarize it daal mooy pour nit ñi génnee dat xalaat ak mentality li nekk suñ boppa yi li ma wax mooy ñun ñoo trouble suñ bopp te ñun dañ fix life boo xam ne si suñ life boo xam ne nekku fa woon na ñun ñoo ko fa indi before da nga am ngénte nga gis ni ñi ñëw présent la xëj na guru o lifin xawma la ko ooye mbaseñ xawma those clothes liñ mun ñu jox la indil la ko and nit ñi dañ ci daan kontaan because it's a present those days ñu ngi xalaat comme tubaab bi fii da nga gis ne dañ laa jox carte sax carte boobule nga am ko nga kontaan ci be because yaa ngi gis ne loolu mu ngi jógee ci xoli jàmbur loolu mooy présent ñun soo indiwut moto mbaa plane dañ tey mayuloo nit ki dara because ñi ñoo xalaatee ba pare man li may advice mooy nit ñi nañ bàyyi suñ demee ci xew yi di compete di def naka sudut noonu su ko defee seen morom itam bugg a def ñoom it li ñu def te ñoom yàlla ndeysaan mayu leen ñoom liñ fi ñoo amee so loolu itam seen xool yi duy ne mbaa ñu forcer seen bopp a dem def naka sudut noonu ndax nit mun a wax ne rek ñoom bokk nañ ci society so nit ñi dañoo daw pour ñàkk a bokk ci society bi loolu dafa dee dugal ñu bari nag ci problems like ñuy ciit ñuy sàcca ñuy tappale ñuy leb mbaa duñ fay bi ko xam nañ ne duñ mën a fay comme I think Sam said it here fekkee ñu ngi laa fay juróomi junne nga jël néeg boo xam ne mu ngi jar ñaari junne then you will have 3 over waaye su fekkee yaa ngi am 5,000 nga dem jël néeg boo fay tam 10,000 xam nga that's where the problem starts already yow su fekkee ne am nga any opportunity pour sàcca ci xaalis bi you will do it but soo ragalee yàlla dangaa ne no I'll not do it I am going to look for a cheaper what I can afford let people say what they want loolu nag mooy suñ problème let people say what they want loolu problème yi Gambian la because yow su la nit ñaanee sax Sam tey nga ne ok ala sorry You understand? Which is very right. Even if you have it, you have other problems to solve. Your bill is coming, your electricity and all these things. So you saw here Auma, that person should understand that. But for a Gambian, so here Auma and that position, some Kiku Naila, Kubanla, Kubanla, because they want to understand it at that time, Kubanla. But you are thinking of your economy. Another. So some Gambians feel even to sigh to say no, I don't have it. But I don't have any problem with it. That's why people say maybe I'm too long here with these Germans because they are real to themselves. I cannot give you something what I don't plan. You understand? I cannot give you something what I don't have. Why should I go and kill myself just to satisfy your ego or my ego? Just for you to say, alas, it's okay. That is for me nonsense. Maybe I think very different now. But no halal. Not because of the eye of people or what people are saying, mu dem dugal la ci yeneen problem. The Gambian, they are very funny. Because of that, yow sa boppa soo demee nga dugal sa boppa in a problem. ñooñu ñi nga doon moytu pour ñu think bad about you. Nobody will think of you. Kenn du la xalaat. So that means yow da ngaa dugal sa boppa problem boo xam ne yow you will be alone with that problem after. So people have to be wise. The same thing, you also, Wally Seka, I don't know how to call it. You get them just last, you get them do it. Just put people in you're part of the society. But Alex, so I'm not nobody think of you. Even Wally Seka will not, Momsa Binyo Sanila Dallas. So who is the loser? Loolu la nit ñi war a xalaatee na day xalaat seen booba xam ne ñun suñ dëkk bi amul xaalis ñun duñ mën a live more than liñ amee oo liñ mën a dëkkee ñu bari dañoo wax ne waaw dama live good because maa ngi am ay mbokk ci diaspora bi it's good but ñu nekk ci diaspora bi tam ñoom tam they have a life and then life bi moom is costly anyway comme ni ko Sam waxee fii moo gën a garaaw because you cannot steal doo mën a saaja yoo ngi depend sa honesty yaa ngi depend sa ñaxa sa daw so yow ki nekk Gambia sax moom nekk ci kees di parti ba moo la gën a am better life because nobody is controlling him moom li moo def yow you cannot do it even in the diaspora because si soo ko defee ñu have conflict because they are controlling their economy ñun nag dañ nekk place boo xam ne lu neex waaye def so that is also a danger ba pare this big competition dafa tax corruption gën a high it's one of the main cause because ñun ni ñoo xalaatee yow waruloo wax ne yow amuloo yow da nga war a wax always ne yow yaa ngi am xaalis te amuloo everybody knows ñun Gambian lañ kenn warul a nax kenn even if you are in the diaspora here mooy li ma doon wax rek yow doo nekk diaspora bi di sign yow sa mbokk yi sa friends mbokk yi yow nga nekk di so yow sa sign amul njëriñ ñun we all know this world is hard so pour nit ñi bàyyi that fake life and try to take life as it is and try to enjoy it and live with it because man su ma waxee ne su ma demee Jaliba Koyate I'm happy then I go to Jaliba Koyate I'll be happy I support that too because Africa never stress when there is concert also people can go and at least relieve I support that idea but not to make it a competition today nga xam ne even to wear a mask nobody will wear a mask we all know about this corona but I saw these videos nobody is wearing a mask why because solee mask ñu ne solee mask doo gis seen aysadoo yi or the decoration or how nice they are because ñun we focus on that ñun loolu mooy status you understand when the whole world aduna bi yëpp a ngay joy about COVID ñun si lañ gën a mën a dem Wally Seck o Youssou Ndour di najante without mask the world do you understand sax suñ gisee such videos yeah because ñun loolu moo important ci ñun even than our life so nga gis this mindset mooy li ma wax rek this mindset is very sad though but suñ try to change ko moom laa ne it's a bubble and it's getting fatter every day
bubble la loolu kañ bubble la
So best bum ne pam nak, then we'll see reality that there was nothing inside. You ambor temporary emni, you don't such a you such a daily, you know, so things like that. And then everybody will see, okay, Sam was driving a plane. I thought that Sam was having money, you know, because nobody tried to see that Sam was living, maybe, you know, I'm telling Halis Bumdo road every day. So people should understand and try to live non la you know, because they want a salary jawara be bound. So we're going out, you know, we are ready to go out and hustle, maybe things like that, you know. But then that is different from stealing or guy them the lep you know that you cannot pay, things like that, you know. You know, then you talk for the one, okay, we are not going to go and hustle, we are going to stay there, this such. You are not helping the Gambian economy, as many people are doing. They are right now living very good life, but because of the people, you know. So some you can come in, maybe you can, but it was a very important point.
Alas
Wax noonu dafa daw suma yaram sax because yow su fekkee yaa ngi am xale yu dem school ñu ngi nekk the same school, yow kii papa mu ngi def loo xam ne naka sulu noonu, you know. So keneen ki moom mu ngi am papa boo xam ne mu ngi serious, mu ngi am fit, mu ngi dundee ci li ko yàlla may, you know. So moom muy di stop, waaw lu mu gis ci kële is normal, kids, you know, mu gis ci kële daf ko bëgg a am moom itam, you know. But ñoom du ñoo understand the background of it, ne kii lim mun man munuma ko, you know. Kii dafa saaca man saacu ma, and things like that. It's very sad though. What is
it's the reality. Thanks, Alice.
Yeah. So Sam, I'm not all of or see Mandinka.
No, Alice spoken well of. I could try and say some in Mandinka.
Fuller or Mandinka.
Yeah, Mandinka, and then you know, you can continue on that as well. So yeah, so badung olon be mom fo kan ndron wala mo mone yembatande Gambia mol bokatara nyato nyame ya lonko si balu kendo kono atra e ma stress life anka esi wokeno nyaadi le wala mo ye balu e la income e soto bulo kanyante dam ye fan kanyande je e mam menno kana e fambulala kana modolu jibe men soto e franco be wala soto la ni e okay be fanne watandela e bela dimbal fana batandela bak e bari nganyun ko maklem fonon komanto wala nyinti niyaji nyembebe kala man sakunda la ya sabu because man sakunda ma fambe man sakunda la bolem kanda meme ma asaba bobu man sakunda nyanta ka loophole sorong meya tinna bundal sorong bundal me yama ko mol ko sunyaro ke wala because sunyar la nen sunyar balo e baka kanya no nen sunyar la be ko do shot la ka so nyaming mo be ba fuka he karbetera kar di mo ba fo sayoto se mom na mu jalla dara nyendo ba fala ko jeng ni tala ko ko so jeng e bu kay nda ko do ka ko do ko ni mbur
yeah, they don't know the right person, that's our problem.
So mole be e kal compare wo nyamale e safo ko nyimbulo jatale no nyimbulo man jade nyinsala ka alala ndung aman sila sura be sunyaro kenano dami aya fanka nyande ay menso to prana la dimbayal ba wala dimbaya wala la hako bakan ito la hako takan nyindo la hako takala dimbala ba hako bakan so ay menso to aka lafika dandi anala dimbal ba wa sikanya wala na fembo ni jo adita don abana la dimbala batan da sam unlike ni other person nyindo me ya lon ko sunyaro la bundala bobu la ka dilo ka banding nka fo me dilo amanke dilte be sunyaro is not a deal because there should not be any deal. Sunyaro be wall like kakodoro sunya ye bundala so de kakodoro sunya no daming niya sunya nak e kawota e kanganya wa kodola ye la kodal dada ye motolo sang ye motolo sayla musolye e dengol fongol motolo ke samba private motolo ke samba private school e sinyo mem felente njang wala koda fongay ma fence no. You know why? Because wala jo mom futa woto because o ma sunyaro sul bundaso. So akana muneke wala mnyinti nyindo membe sunyaro la niwo dingole menso to ni nyindo membe siri ngandu ito la kafea di dol dama la kafea because ito lebe coin kilor So nyin dole aji nyin mensoro nyin dol fana kala fika ifana liya wala shak. Ibe fama blem la why to man soro nyin dinol fede kan nyin dun tombo ko soro. Nyin don no bita school kan nyin samban tolbo ko soro no. Why? Without knowing as atare malon ko nyin fama be sunya rolla. Ndulembe sila. Ni masakunda falinta. Next masakunda nata ya start ya konti boke. Ya jibe momo ka mensoro ete nyin bunjawlo nyadile. Ete nyin self-contained balo no nyadile. Ya masakunda la kodo kisi aka dumentole. Ya kisi foi for dal to la department ya kisi ro ya jako kare nyin ko jamala sunyara yara fam. Ibine no malela ko da babusi le la. Ibela ko da busi le la sai yela dimba tora. Inila dimbal vitamin. Albita silaming. Then alla den dengol the next door neighbor me alon ko boka sunyar ke. Onala dimbal sitaraje. All of a sudden is aje tenil dimbal be bunda la ko da kono la ko da nyima ko. Ila fanal ba fo kan kafunyo ma ba kan nyul tata minto betum a ko koy mayna bi alon ko ku to nyala be laban to nyabe laban na to nyabe fintila mol ba jela ko han wodi nol ba na ko e ko nyun fama yara fa ba ko nyun ko jama nyun kan nyum be su do fama ya be su nyar e tol ba flo nyamal e fama be su nyaro la nun ya wala long sign ya kontibo ya je ko aboytale ya la koda bu sala pour ko men su nya pour yewojo wala ne fota la koda ila kodala sai be min tole God knows. Ebe luwaso la sign. So nyene yambatande Gambia. So wasunyara bundal masakunda nyanta wala sorona. Esaje meneka sunyaro ke be sunyaro bula. Masakunda ka kodo mensuta tuna banko kan na banko developer. Mobe kanyang esaje competition tina because itala salary le moenti na salary fana be walt. Wala la salary manjam fanyol. Ete kuba keno la nyuma menkeno. So nyene ya tina. And then esaje and then more for ngam fandandi comme nane ka kudol fo misalo ko non ka fo ko haninta dingol ka fo enko ajibe what you need and what you want, because this is very important. Kudo bije isula talale fo yasro ni maso ka be kala problem ot bara kudo bije o mulla finna fa roneti kariñol ye moto sura wala karla muso ka moto le borandi etala muso fana ko e moto sata fanay aman sula motela amamna moto na fasato amma moto borondo fano para la moto sign. So this is a problem. I call personal not in molka wo fana ite ñu moto eta moto sanga ya borni printing bam accident okay accident be siaram banko kan dinngolo dolbe moto borondo la men yanon ko if amay ñol dol ma fo mo belam nak I always make this clear, it's not everybody but dolbe je e be moto borondo la moto soto na nyame ta malo o moto asike aman soto nin silola ko sunyara ko dole o moto fintindi so dinole o moto tay manta even to driver's license test la wo finkol e de corolla ka dre modo joy license de ya dila dole be license fonte be moto borna sata ko accidental be siala det because they don't know how to drive. Accidental be siaring mol be ñoo fala lale moto be takiro kala speeding be kala mol le fon be tinyala moto be tinyala ko ku jama be keka. So nyimbe nyine ka wo sabunang me alon ko ni mol ma try to live within their income ila soto bulo moment ye dan woto ye fandan di woto ko ala ye wala dila munya wo kan hanne atara mol be banko be ko itala bulo jata Gambia beti munya kan dron because limbe sila e nentata lakira to mando e betala jale be tambele folo be duna arjanna ito letra kom munya tinna because ala ye dan de mento ye fanden de woto e man faliya faniyafo e man sunyarke e man nafiki yake men se kudila e man ko ke man tapale yake ala e dan mento yawla so de ni la dimbale balu wala ya ala mura ni fata e duna arjanna indo men be nafiki yala abe sunyari yala abe tapale okela pour ye place kendo diatala ni place o diala tapele bake voto fran ay ko di jama so da ko abe mumbay abe livla nyala nyame ya lon ko mambete abe problem o create role asike ningo fata ay fania memfo ala tapale yalu ala sunyarolu amen be ka asike wotata atete duna janafa ala don ne wolo. So it's very important more ngam fandandi mbedanna daming ala ndandi daming. Yes, we should continue to work harder for ala simako nga sele santu faranga fensoro bari sunyaro non tapale akol be dawda ngan dabondi je. It's very 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 important mo ngan dabondi wol kono ngam fandandi nga mensoro ma mensoro kanam fam forcé because ni fam forcé abe stress le dilera abe ni la dimba stress la e la bon kono to diala because la muso ka je nyindo la muso ni otata marso wala panyo ka fale akadomoro sifa bele nat luolo ngabe di mata tabila la bonko na ding balwa domala eteni la dimbal ba jak biela tia dura ngodom samale ko cha dama sinin ding betu wala nyanka dang tabi you know this is all the problem
sinin dale nyanka dang sinin dale nyanka dang dama
sinin ding ali nyanka dang dama you know ularo ale tekra churo tabi simot you know so imagine ka peer pressure nata batna nyina muso men katanyo la marso to fon wo fonga saje ko ite kema ite nyinkewo ite manke fenti asi muto nyama ko ite man fenno manke fenti wala ibulo la jata malo ite men ibulo la jata nyindo kema ka membe di la tebe ko di notala why so akanyine create banko kan sato kono wala tina kumata bake mansakunda fana be step mental yata ka lupolol besron ne ko mo le lupolo soron isi dol je sa ko nyinki dafa anyan bogo ñu am no yes dega la bogo manga am lo xamne momulo ko you know you take anything that don't belong to you
that's manke tat
but maso yes ndanga menso don ka dawo ite fone menso dawo to barkana mbedam fangota ya sunya ite dam may balu wala
but you know
nende ko be diamule tole ko onte mambete ante anyantale malaf ye fensor ani yes left day fensor halalo moment asoro but kana mo be fengota so this is it
yeah it is always said I am not allowed to but I am going to make it mine you know
yep
so also
Tonyalam alas tonyalam
I am going to allow myself
yeah so ali kuma kende balel fo jam badon defana enta summarize to man denga man fo anglais kan wala pour na vive sol samoy yanim be close la yeah so nte ko nin fanko pour ka soto fen e bolu soto fen wala pour mo start janne metal ni manke nyinante ni manke science ni brisa fo na great grandfather nyol brisa fo slavery be start la ni sifa be happen kan ni ajibe ntolla mol fao ni aje tuwabule kutumol la because natan na ne to lialo fente ya ikumata okay first of all ya discover for it le fon kiskis ntolle mun nasoro ntol simbolu no nyaadi bri yalon ko de ntolla tuwablu dal ala man tol so ikumata ala ngata dunia kono ngajibe wole mun nasoro so o triple bem yewa kekan inata for the Africa yaje ko Africa e fen jamal soto nga gold nyol soto le nga diamond soto nga fen jamal soto so yemune ke yenna mol start ke ira brain wash wala ka kumul fo e men man soto kuma furngol ikana ika salt ika cool dila cool warang ye fen ko dila natalol fen ko aton di miro fen down no le fen jinni ko ha gale nyinjel so ikanna multa ke bondi Africa ikanna nanyi mol men be maralola ikata wala turu wal kunta kinta nyol nata wala kono na sembeti mali be sama nan jam wala nyam so ntol mom men ke no wala bukam fango men so do malong be pare ntol bukallafi science ko wala min instant gratification mem ke fon ben na fala sign Gambia alanti jamfala bakele sign because ninka nunka sama mira be wulala nga dokoke be wulala nga kiskis nyini nga kiskis mun fengol de ben dlato min yalon ko asin nafa zikaran no akono nga fengol de danu akono panto lamol mo kede to lamol menke wolam si kachaba bantaba lulung musjama nyino be visiting on to kebaya fenko ntol ko fon men man important ntol ka dum wol kono anin kam fango tande kantiya ntede kan be nyo kiskisla alasi mun soto mun bala bon kono ay muneke so ndibe focus la pour ka alka nyo kiskis albe develop no nyaadi ngawe tenante men kala eden dunya la kiskis la dunya la kiskis la ya jibe si develop no nyaadi de ba ni na lu ka nyo kiskis so say what is dunya kiskis no la so nyinen tol batandi ntola mol since in the beginning nina nan tolmantano anu a mentality ning a miral nya atale fo sign anaran tola ntola generation la abina generation membina ntol fanan after ntol abitala wala tina hanin tol tamata nani miral nya nakata because I to abul kafa me nga inheritly nga susule wol fana ya susu wol fana ya susu so niaje ning jarol nat niaje ning fam kodati o ning mo kod abe kodati ya waran abe tulato niaje ikela kodol ta ke sika ke dunde jalo ita ko dimbaade jalo ina yusun durena wala seka ina yela kodo beta ya dundol waran ya kulli idingo yulu ye isi nyambo ke kulli alkano ma fo moye ko ye kulli o ke akole ye ku isi dun kulli bari amafo ye pati bake kano mo fode tamiso don wala famu ko I mean but ni man tamiso fon fano I understand na sembo table bari kamolje wedding ko furu sito ye thousands and hundreds of thousands ota ye tawdu na programo ngani neke ngajolo kumande ngani na dung dara dubaile nga fengol sanje ngani kedi sifala dung
I think you're having problem of signals down here. I think your signal is getting bad.
Wala purko adoni men fon be wulula purko wala future plan for Kafanko education fund create way like 529 wal sifa purko purin kamara ala dimona kebat na be kebat kan ala kanam jol wol besi top do no kono atawkela de abita sam kanyinke alas ba flo kon te fane nyine ken kulio ko dite safe la nyina tinna ka promotion be men kono sai ikaje moy wuli ayta programme wala asomo ayta mo dani mburu songla mayne songla makoy nga oncle karjana akol abe tubab dule abe janale akumande e makoy nga na dimbal mambalo so bari wo kodo ni nada ni o kodo so akadun daminto a jarte to len ya dundu kuku na meran ko amange kesere moti wo somo yena te domro kela so e ka fo wole ko to abul ka fo wole wo live within your income it should have found ni aso a keskis to men important for your dabo dije na don be bongo jola ni bongo bonde je ni ngatra dimbal domro be yor foro bonde je nin to tuta sifla ibe mun put la karala and ibe mun tala ya dundi kodol kunna men yalon ko imanke a more important back so na nani kacha be tata na da wala fenna me yalon ko ka ke bari dal kula me yalon ko anan ta stop la ni ma stop abin batan de la bakel ando akamu dal ko science hanin ta da tubabu ka nyo compete wala le nin sami moto sam alasko mtefana lafta the same kind of moto men grauta what so wo competition no kono akatina le isno bulo ibko jibe ede ni sunyar fembe dala iba sunyala ni be dogurla do me alon ko si sunyaro kenoje ibo wala keda ni be dala ni si mo fon fano fan pour yo ku fon so do pour que fon satisfy ibo wala keda so jika sifa ya o jika sifa nanta wala stop la mansakunda nga nyinen karo ke pour mansakunda la atabe mun na keno la nyindo ndol ko mansakunda kam talo ko wulo me alon ko nyinta da ko mansakunda ma fon wala ko no o ma fon bondino alcool bondi nyamo kono o simo la ku bondino nyamo kono nyaadi ni ko le ko alta aliafu mole e ka kodo spend nyame o ni yusu dul nyanar woni jarol ten mon ko fon ko mansakunda to kuno la woto because will form me la ko na grade no it will form la spending jibe ni mo bita travel la ni mo keme mo me alon ko official duties me alon ko hani mo 20 sorry 5 saki no mo lul saki no mansakunda e mo kemel so it's the same thing it will fanan kan na budget total ka spend e ka pour to parta mommen so e ko expenses da mo kan wala tan to la banko buka develop no e ka project mal de me alon ko akata mansakunda kono So if I have a secondary any project or succeed, near start at a bad, near bang, at a more problem. But Dan Rokelako Jello. So a bay because Munamo, attending base same idea, Mbukana in generate. Bukao spend Kamen fin Kamasakunda Kamen Koromen produce. I take a domain domo, what a cassia, a Kamen produce. Walatina to Labanko Beduma hand sign. So I be having the Masakunda Kono, I be having the family so Lakono, I be having the more killing Nala life Kono. Gambia no Nantamen Salasai, and if Sansela, ya Jibi. Munamu quote me alonka important, along all for Kebang, Nasoro Bro Benyadile. Because Ninka Kodo Sunya, Alaben Kitin de Lala, Ninka Haramo Domo, among Betan in a family. So Sam come for Willem, come a loophole so you close, Blal Bay Suki, Sunyar Bunda Bay Suki. Ha, Wumu Kulet me alonko na Abemola cool Talala Lefana. Abemola activity lokatala. What have they can't enjoy using do? They cannot Jaliba, they cannot ST, they cannot any program do. More for it. But if it's a elephant important, wool, ye pare purka fenke, puru topodo. Namera wool the most important thing to be focus on be and practice the mealanko, tamanding in a bol kono, a monkey kuti mealanko, Aben Sambala Nyato, Aben Nadimba Sambala Nyato. So left the Wolf Namanika Kamala tank, promote base and Wolf, and in other languages, na viewers all for them.
Yeah, thank you, Sawame.
Yeah.
I also tried my best to explain everything in Wolof.
Yeah.
I
think we can end up. We can say our final words now.
I mean, it's a topic. It's a topic. I mean, it's very important that we Gambians come to a point where we can tell ourselves the truth. The way we think that we are doing it right is very wrong. And I mean, we have to think about it again, because we cannot be living in a fake life or competition life. And we can blame the government in some part, but the government cannot also have a certain limit to the private life of the people. So what we're talking here is more the social living we're having, and the mentality, the mindset people are having. Always trying to think that what we are doing is going to make us happy, or it's not useful. For example, I take a lot of dollars and then give it to the griot, to one gente, or I don't know. He's standing there with his bag of rice, and these people used to feel it. If I am Mr. Barrow, if I see that, then I'll say, oh, Gambia is nice. If other people, even if the Senegalese people see that, they don't believe their eyes. We are complaining we are poor, but we can feel such a bag of rice with money, because we don't think of our own problems or problems of others. We think that it's easy to have, so I can give it also easily out. And this is not a Gambian tradition. I didn't live that in Gambia. That is just from the people. Many people used to blame the diasporans that they used to do that. That's why Gambians are adopting that, which I find also very, very, very sorrowful, because when people are from the diaspora, they have to show even the Gambians, how to live properly without doing a lot of mistakes, instead of going and giving them such a life and cannot help them later. Because when people adopt to going to such ceremonies with a lot of money, and everybody knows the salary of Gambia, they don't have it sometimes. Even to go to Chonseka, I don't know how to call it. They have to put themselves in a problem, take debts from, things like that, even to go there. That's what I say. People should not feel inferior when they cannot do anything. Gambia is poor. Nobody is rich. Even in the diaspora, nobody is rich. Live your life, we cut our coats, as they used to say, according to our size. Look at the Akos, they don't mind. You can blame them, they don't give out money, they don't do this, they don't do that, but they are having their private life and they are happy with it. You understand? Why? Because they know that there are a lot of unnecessaries You should not do it. Why? If you can be happy with your mahal and keja and so, that is what you think is going to make you happy. Then be happy with it. When somebody is killing cow and so, maybe that's what he thinks will make him happy, because we are all different. That's how white people think. That's why you hardly get that problem here, the competition or something like that. So everybody try to do what he or she feels that is right for him or her. Why should I do something for me what is right for Sam? I'm not living Sam's life. I'm living my life. So people have to start thinking that way so that life will be easy for us. That's my only advice, that people try to understand why are we even at that stage, at this stage, talking about it, because it's too much. And then we're complaining because we are having inflation in the country. People are complaining. You have to buy a fish $1,000 when your salary is maybe 2,050, maybe. No, everybody knows what's going on and where the salaries are. So why should we put our life higher than that? Just because we have somebody sending money from diaspora or something. But the whole world is difficult because there's the COVID now. So people should be careful. I used to tell everybody. So we have to take care and don't try to look at what people are going to say. Because even if I say these John Seckers, and I don't know how to call it, Wally Seckers, maybe how they call it, I hate them because they themselves never try to tell the people to wear a mask, because we are in a COVID time. In Germany here, no concert. Why? Because they know how dangerous that is. So if you love your people, try to advise them.
They don't care about that.
That's it. Here you don't go to concert.
Yeah.
You don't go to concert. They close such places because group of people are going there, and it's dangerous. And people are dying. They are having medicines, but the rate is going. So you cannot tell me the whole world is having problem. Only Gambia not. Are we fooling ourselves or what? Or are we crazy, or we don't want to see the reality?
Yeah.
That's what I said. We always after our, interest, and sometimes forget even our lives.
Yeah.
So we have to be awake. So that's it. For me
thank you,
today,
Alas. Thank you.
I hope,
Thank you. Sam, your final words. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting topic, and we've all three of us really went through a lot of areas in there. There's still more to say, but we're running out of time here. So my final word is for people to really try to live within their income. That's very important. Don't look at what others have and try to have the same thing. Those others may be stealing, and there is going to be a day they're going to get caught. When they get caught, they're going to lose everything that they have. That's what happens. So, and you will enjoy that little house that you have in peace, and you will be able to sleep all night and enjoy your time with your family, knowing that what you have is what you own. You only live with what you were able to afford.
And you will be happy. Even if it is a little house, you are happy and you are happy without stealing.
Nothing that can buy happiness.
It's okay.
And nothing can buy happiness. So be happy, stay happy with your family, stress-free. Is better than getting money that don't belong to you and enjoy this world. And one day you
cannot sleep.
And then you can't sleep the night. You and your family get evicted from that property, from that house. And now you go rent a place. And even getting a place to rent may be difficult because now you don't have a job, because you'll be fired from your job, and then everything that you own will be taken from you, or every bank account you have will be seized from you. And when that happened, that's when you realize that, wow, I should not have been doing what I did. And now you just created a problem for you and your family. So everyone need to try to live within your income and be happy with that. That way, nobody can come back to you and say, how did you get this? How did you get that? And how did you get this? Where did you get this money from? Because you know what? It's your sweat. It's what you work and what you earn. That's what you invested into your own family. So at the end of the day, that's my advice to everyone. And the government really need to fight corruption. and stop this corruption in there, and close all the loopholes and stop people from stealing our funds, public funds, so you can utilize those public funds and build a country with it without taking loans. That's where we need to be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
all.
sir.
Thank you, Alas. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, all viewers. Thank
Yeah,
you for
Mr.
staying tuned.
Soane, yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
thanks
thank
for the viewers.
you.
I hope that
Thank
we
you all.
learn from each other. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. All right.